I've been involved since I was probably in the 5th grade, and that would mean I've been involved for 42 years already, or even more than that, 48 years, believe that, 48 years I've been involved in Camp Retreats. And there's so few places where we can come together, live with people that we don't live with all the time, and the whole purpose is learn how to love each other. It's just an amazing experience that the church provides. It's so unusual, and I think so important. It's a different rhythm completely, and I feel like living together is really where you learn discipleship. That day in and day out interaction, the shared experiences that you have, getting angry with each other and figuring out, oh yeah, there is a thing called forgiveness, and forgiveness really matters if you're going to have friendships and you're going to have relationships, and inspired to make a difference when I went home. I had a sense that there was something behind all of this. And when I would get still enough, I would feel a presence. And part of that explanation when I came home, because my parents were people of faith, they said, you know, that's the presence of God. The creation itself is a way that God comes to you, and you experience God through the creation. Camps and retreats are like a place of practice. They're like a laboratory, and what would life be like if we all really got serious about loving each other, even in the hard stuff? And you get to practice that. And for me, that's really powerful. There are kids in the community in which you live. And for me, as being a person who left the church for a while, if a local church had provided me, had contacted me, even though I wasn't a member of their church, but they knew I lived in that community, if they had provided that experience, I'd never forget that church, ever. And I think a church like that probably would have drawn my parents more quickly back into a faith community. So one part of it I would say to a local church is, how do you define who your kids are? Who are your kids? And John Wesley says the world is our parish, right? Not just the people who enter our building. So who lives around you? Who lives around your congregation? They're your kids. And so even if you're a congregation that doesn't have children, that's a possibility, and a really powerful one. And what I hope we can do in the future is just break open the possibilities and not see it as just one thing, but it can be so many things. If your congregation, for example, wants to do visioning and strategic planning, we're now getting ourselves trained to lead, facilitate visioning and planning. So come away from all those normal responsibilities, come away from the church itself, and get completely away where you can focus on where's God calling us to go.